So, hello guys, welcome back to another episode of lovealadijonnaise. Welcome back to a new weekend, a new Friday, where we are talking to you. We're very happy to have you here once again. Sam, welcome, and how are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm fine. How are you, my love?
I'm fine, thank you. Second try, guys. We just recorded this episode like half an hour ago. We listened to it, it was messed up. We are trying once again. My microphone apparently is broken or something, I don't know. So we hope that this episode is of good quality since I'm recording with literally my microphone of the laptop because I mean the external one, the good one I have, something's going on with it. So we hope that it's good quality, but I'm fine, thank you.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully, you can fix your microphone and that you won't protest in the future again. But it's okay. Those things happen. But let's try again.
Let's try once again, guys. And today's topic, it's very interesting. It's a topic a lot of people have been asking us, and it's one of I think one of the most common questions people ask us in is about how do we stay motivated? How do we keep that motivation? I mean, despite times passes, how are we doing that? And we are here. We are here to answer that question. We hope that at least in this episode you find a bit, from that information. And also we have an important announcement on this episode, and it's because besides Spotify and iTunes, where are we also, babe?
Finally, we're on YouTube as well, since a lot of you have, a lot of you, some of you have suggested that we could also have a podcast on YouTube, or some of you that you don't have Spotify or iTunes, so you prefer YouTube. So we decided to create a YouTube channel, and from now on, we're gonna post our audio podcast for now on YouTube as well, and maybe in the future we post also video podcast. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Of course, we're gonna see if everything works well with the podcast also on iTunes and Spotify and on YouTube, and we start seeing that more people and more people are listening to us. Why not? We can invest a bit more on that, but for now it's gonna be only the audio. So we hope that you like it, and from now, literally, don't stop listening to this episode. Go right now to YouTube, subscribe and activate the tiny notification bell so you start receiving all the notifications. Of course, you're free to listen this podcast whatever you want, but you know now that we are also on YouTube. So go support us, share, and everything. You know what to do.
Yes, you know what to do, and also all links to YouTube, iTunes, Spotify you find on our Instagram account, and also in the description box in YouTube.
Exactly. And well, to begin with this topic of this episode, we would like to start talking about motivation, the importance of motivation, and where does motivation comes from, because it's very important. Is actually I think is the key to have a good motivation. And Sam, can you please start explaining us where do you think motivation come?
Yes, motivation comes, of course, from yourself. So you need to be motivated. You need to have that motivation in order to achieve your things, to achieve your goals. And of course, you can have people that motivate you. We all have people that motivate us. But if you don't want to take their advices or their motivation, for yourself onto you, and those positive vibes that they give you, that there is no point, to have those people around you that motivate you, because motivation comes from yourself, and you really need to want the motivation.
Yeah, and as Sam is saying, it's very important that you have that in mind because at the end of the story, motivation is gonna be part of yourself. And As I always had said, like literally, there's gonna be people that maybe they can activate that motivation, but at the end, you're gonna be the one who's gonna be motivating yourself. So it doesn't matter if someone's it's been telling you, oh, you're able to do it, and is supporting you. At the end of the story, if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe it's possible, it won't be possible. It doesn't matter how many people around you are telling you that it's possible and you're capable enough of doing it. Dude, it won't, because you're not believing in that. So first, the first part of it is believing yourself and believing what you're doing. You're working, believing your work. You are, I don't know, you're in a relationship, believe in your relationship. So believe everything is possible of what you're doing. So that's the first key, because like that you're gonna be motivated. But of course, and as a lot of people have been asking us, we're gonna talk about like what things keep us motivated during this relationship, because that's I think the main part of the episode. And at the end, what we want is to give a couple of advices of at least what we do. So maybe you can start applying them to your long distance relationship if you're in the same situation, or to whatever couple are listening to us. So let's begin with that, and let's begin with Sam. Baby, what things do, I mean, what are the things you usually do to stay motivated?
Well, the things I usually do that keep me motivated and that I stay motivated, especially when we're apart, because that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest time of our relationship, and also the saddest. And I always remind myself, oh, the distance won't last forever, so it's worth it. One day the distance is gonna go, we're gonna be together finally, so it's completely worth it. And also, on the day that we usually say goodbye to each other, which is like the saddest one, is the tragedy, yeah, tragedy of our relationship.
Katastrofa.
Katastrofa in Slovenian, yes. um, we always say, it's goodbye less. And also throughout the time that we are apart, we keep reminding ourselves that the distance gonna go away, and that the goodbye that we just had was a goodbye less.
Yeah, that's one of the most important things that we always need to have in mind, at least Sam and me, because it's super painful every time that we're at a moment of the farewell, that we're at the airport and we're about to say bye to the other, and that we know that we don't know how many months they're gonna pass so we can meet once again. We like to say, like literally to looking at each other's into the eyes and saying like, okay, so this is very painful, but have in mind this one less goodbye to go. So that's the main part. That's actually, I think that's the column of what keeps us motivated, because at the end of the story, it's very painful, but we know that there's gonna be a moment that is gonna be the last goodbye. At least that's how we like to think about, because of course, we don't know in how long it's gonna be. But what we are sure is about that every time that we say goodbye to each other and we get apart once again, that moment that we're gonna be together is getting closer and closer and closer. So always try to find a positive part on a negative part, because there's always something positive. You're gonna learn from every experience. You're gonna learn something. You can learn something on the bad way or on the good way. But the thing is, like every time that is on the bad way, on a negative part, there's gonna be always a positive part. So we like to think about that, and I think that's one of the main things that keep us motivated on this relationship. And also, we also like to think that every time is gonna be way easier and easier. Although actually, I feel it the other way. The other way, I think every time is harder and harder. But at least, I mean, we try to get good vibes out of it, and we like to think like, okay, so next time is gonna be easier, although it's been harder. But that's actually how it goes. Sam and me, well, you know that all couples they have like a song, and Sam and me song is, maybe you're gonna know, but it's the song "Crazy" by Lost Frequencies. And there's a part where I mean, a part of the song that I like to, I mean, every time I listen to it, I am like, oh God, it's so true because it says, oh God, I never thought it was gonna be this hard, and it's actually true because every time and every time that we get a part is even harder and harder. But we are trying, and we know at some point it's gonna get better. So always try to be motivated on that.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, and also it's very, very true. Every time gets harder and harder. I don't know why. It's supposed to get easier, but it never gets easier. But it's okay. We, as Felipe said, we try to take the positive out of the not negative. This situation is not negative, it's a sad one, so a happy situation out of a sad one and turn it into a positive one that's gonna motivate us. But of course we also have the positive and the happy moments that keep us motivated, which is amazing. Like, for example, traveling together, or I think one of my favorite is when on the day when we are finally supposed to see each other. That day is just amazing, you know. And if you, I mean, it's very hard to describe it if you never lived it, if you've never been in a long distance relationship and you don't know how does it feel. I mean, at least for me, I don't know how I would describe it. It's just, you know, amazing,
It's
excited.
magical.
Yeah.
I Yeah, we are super excited. I remember last time Sam came. She was coming actually before the whole pandemic and the whole mess started, because of course you by now you already know that she spent bit more than 4 months here in Mexico because she was stuck. She couldn't go back to Europe.
No.
But yeah, I remember like before the whole mess, the day that she was supposed to arrive, I was at work. I was working. Well, working, if I could call that working. But the thing is that I was so excited that day. That's what I say. If I could call that working, because the whole day I spent it. I don't know if you know, guys, but there is an app and it's like a web page. It's called Flight Aware, and there you can look literally for any single flight that it's flying that is in the air. Actually, it's very impressive how many planes are in the air in the whole world. But the thing is, like, if you write the number of the flight and add the destination and everything, you can see literally on live where the plane is. I spent those 7 hours looking at Sam's
Oh
plane
my
where it was in
god.
the world. I remember like when I saw Sam's plane over the northern part of Canada, because of course he was doing that weird curve, you know, that all planes they need to do. I got super excited. I was like, she's on my same time zone, or at least like 1 hour ahead, you know, for my time zone. Got super excited, and then when I saw that she landed in
Mexico
Mexico
City.
City, I was like, she's very
I'm
close.
very
So
close.
that's so like so motivational. Like literally the day that you see each other. That, by the way, spoiler alert. Very soon, guys, you're gonna start having a couple of episodes being together because
Yay!
I'm flying to Europe finally.
Finally.
So yeah, it's that's one of the most exciting things that we can have, Sam and me. So always try to do that. And also something very interesting about ourselves that at least me keeps me motivated is that we share our whole days. Literally, we snap each other because we use a lot of Snapchat still, and she snaps me food. She snaps me my favorite beer, Lashko.
Lashko.
She snaps me landscapes, views, and everything, and that keeps me very motivated because I'm like, I mean, I want to see her, but also I know all the good stuff that is there, like food, I don't know, landscapes, trips, and stuff that I'm like, I need to go. And actually, whenever I see that, I even put more effort in what I'm doing. I work harder, I do my things harder because that really motivates me to do something.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I feel the same whenever you snap me something from Mexico that I like, either I don't know, landscapes, or if you went to like to a place where I still haven't been, you know, and then that motivates me, and I'm like, oh, I can wait to see that, I can wait to visit. is the same thing, of course.
Yeah, like for example, like when Sam and me were planning our trip to Los Cabos and La Paz, I used to send her videos and pictures of, I don't
Yes,
know,
I
Balandra
remember.
and Los Cabos and those places, and she used to get super excited because, of course, it was a place that she didn't know. And like planning, actually, that's something important that Sam and me we think like in order to stay motivated whenever you feel like your motivation is going down, you need to plan something. You always need to have a plan because by having a plan, unconsciously, your own mind is gonna tell you, dude, you need to move, start acting, start doing stuff.
Yeah, and that's how your brain is gonna unconsciously motivate you. And of course, some plans they don't work out, but that's why you have to have a plan B, C, whatever. And yeah, you have to have more plans because not every plan works. And with plan A, B, C, one of them is gonna eventually work, but just keep have in mind that one of them is gonna work eventually, and that's how you keep your motivation. Me, now that I'm still in school, and since we gave you a tiny spoiler alert that Felipe is coming, that's my motivation. So he's coming, and my motivation to do things ahead is that I can spend more time with him, that we can travel around Slovenia, go on our like daily trips. So I'm gonna do my school projects and everything I have to do for school ahead of time. And when it's the time just to upload a school project, I just upload it and that's it. And I don't have to like do homework, study, school project while he's with me. And we can use this time wisely and like travel, hang out with friends and family, and
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. And for example, me, like, whenever I think about the time that might be in Slovenia, because also we're gonna have very soon an episode about time difference, dealing with time difference. I put a lot of effort on my work. I put a lot of effort on whatever I'm doing. For example, if I'm studying German, I put a lot of effort because I say I'm gonna be able to practice German with Sam because of course he speaks German and everything. So it's like like finding a motivation in the other person on doing your things. Because of course, like literally having someone so special to you, the thing is gonna provoke you that person is that you want to do more and more and more and more, and literally it's like a challenge. It's like if you were challenging yourself to get better and better in whatever you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, so always try to stay focused on it. Like don't it's like of course like always we're gonna be surrounded by things that maybe can drag us down with motivation stuff. For example, now we're gonna talk about the hardest time we've had to live so far, that is during COVID pandemic. But and there are gonna be always things that maybe they're gonna get us frustrated, depressed, annoyed, and stuff. But your, I mean, your responsibility is to stay focused on what really matters and just to keep your motivation really up. So, for example, about like the pandemic and everything, guys, seriously believe us, it's been the hardest time ever. We by the time we go to Europe, we're Sam and me we're gonna be already 11 months apart. The longest we ever been apart. And it's been so painful, very hard. We've been desperate. We don't know. We have yeah,
Super
so desperate.
desperate.
But finally we did it, and that's because, at least me, what I like to think is like, Sam and me, we are stronger than this. Well, our relationship is so much stronger than the COVID pandemic. So doesn't matter whatever that happens. I'm pretty sure that at some point, Sam and me, we're gonna be back together, as it's gonna happen, and we're super happy for that. But always believe that you're stronger than something.
Yes, I agree. And we decided to be in a long distance relationship even before COVID. And we said, okay, we can do it. We're strong enough no matter what happens. And surprise, surprise, COVID arrived. And of course, by the time he comes to Europe, as we mentioned, it's gonna be 11 months that we've been apart. And we could have easily just said, oh no, this is not gonna work. We can't be apart for that long. It's not worth it anymore. But no, we didn't. We were like, because we committed that we're strong enough, and we committed to that relationship before this mess, we decided to, like, of course, stay together and keep on and try to find solutions, and how can we, bring Felipe to Europe without any complications and problems right now. And it took us long, but at the end we did it.
Yeah, at the end we did it. We are gonna get a whole episode, a whole story time of the process of putting me there in that plane.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
to Europe,
yes.
because it was so hard. It's a whole protocol, a whole process. So don't worry, guys. You're gonna get that episode, and official is gonna be the first episode being together, not being apart, which is gonna be very important. But everything on its time, guys. We're still a couple of weeks apart from that, so we're gonna continue like this. So yeah, also, if I don't know, but I think like the most important thing that we can tell you about your motivation is, for example, if you're in a long distance relationship, because I know there are some people out there that they are living right now the situation of being apart in the pandemic. If at some point you start feeling that your motivation starts decreasing, that you don't feel that motivated anymore, you feel like, I don't see future on this, I don't see future in this relationship, I mean, or something, some people have told me, it's just like lately whenever I talk to my couple, I feel that there's anything interesting to talk, there are moments that we stay quiet, we don't even know what to talk about anymore and stuff. First of all, that's because there's a lack of motivation, of course. Could be from your part, could be from the other part, or from both. It doesn't matter, but there's definitely a lack of motivation, and it's normal. Like what we can tell you is completely normal, so don't feel sad about it. But like as we were saying, you need to do something about it. So what we would really suggest you is to first talk to your couple on a normal talk, try to be chill and everything, and say the things are as they are. You say, you know what, I feel like this, start sharing your feelings, but always propose a plan or ask, okay, so what's the plan? Because as soon as the other person starts seeing your interest on continue on I mean to continue with the relationship, or like at least you're looking for a plan B, on that moment unconsciously the other person's brain is gonna be like, okay, let's then start planning something, and believe us, you're gonna get a boost of energy and you're gonna start thinking about things that maybe you could have ever thought about.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's actually how we've been dealing with the whole situation with the pandemic, because let's be honest, the rules and regulations change like from week to week, especially here in Europe. And it was a whole mess, which we're going to share in another episode. But yeah, always have a plan, and because you're gonna motivate yourself and you're gonna motivate your couple, and that's how you're gonna keep on with the relationship. And as we said before, the first plan doesn't have to work, the second one, third one's gonna work eventually.
Yeah, one is gonna work eventually, so always have a plan, start planning things, and you're gonna see you're gonna get motivated. Literally, it's gonna be
Instantly. And also, doesn't matter if plan doesn't work, it's gonna at least keep you going. And also motivation is gonna rise and rise and rise, and it's gonna keep you going as well.
exactly. And as I always like to think, and I think you all should have in mind, is that if plan A doesn't work, then plan B, and if it doesn't work, then plan C. But just have in mind that as you're advancing in your plans, literally, as the plans are not working, you're getting closer to the plan that will work. And that, believe us, guys, it's gonna keep you very motivated.
Yes. And also, if you ask yourself, oh, why this didn't work, I don't have the motivation anymore, you just need to think, oh, things happen for a reason, as we always say, and we won't know that reason until the future, but eventually, with more planning and more motivation, you're gonna get to your goal. And actually, that happened last year with us. I mean, I couldn't go home and I stayed longer, and we didn't know the reason. Okay, why is this happening? Of course, the pandemic. And we thought, oh, soon we're gonna be together again. Once I leave back to Europe, it's gonna be super fast. We're gonna be apart just few months. But no, it's been 11, well, almost 11 months. And now I think that the reason why I stayed longer is because we were apart for that long.
Exactly. So there's always a reason for everything, guys. And basically, that was it. So yeah, that was what we had prepared. Maybe we skipped a couple of things because we forgot. We don't know. The thing is, like recording this podcast for the second time, we got confused with ideas and stuff. So yeah, but we try to put everything where it was in the first try. So yeah, we are happy. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to us, for staying here, for being interested. We hope that you had found maybe some useful information in this episode. Maybe you got motivation out from this episode. So that's what we wanted, and that was our goal. So thank you so much, guys. And well, Sam, can you please share, the social media and stuff?
Of course, my pleasure. And as usual, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and now on YouTube. If you have ideas for some podcast episodes, you can DM us on Instagram or send us email at lovealadijonnaise, and we're gonna gladly take them in account.
We're gonna take them in account. Thank you so much, guys, and have an amazing, amazing weekend. Bye bye.
Bye bye.